Hi. Oh. I am so cute, like pretty. Like I am just myself. Mm. Jasmine Renee Davis.
Hi, Miss Davis. This is Mabel with Community.
I'm Jasmine Renee Davis, not Miss Davis. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. You all have
All
Jasmine
right, I'm
Renee
fine.
Davis still.
Just
You have Jasmine Renee
mhm.
Davis still listed on my account. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you said that I'm Miss Davis. You called me Miss Davis. Why?
I was I was just referring to your last name. I apologize.
Well, I'm Jasmine Renee Davis, so I don't know what you're apologizing about, but
Oh, well, I understand you were looking for a supervisor to give you a call back.
um, you told me that you were going to have a supervisor call me because what is her name? Janice. But first of all, what is your name? What's your name?
My name's April.
Okay, you April. And so, what department are you calling from at We Energies? This motherfucker. I don't know if I hung up the phone or she hung up the phone. I touched the phone. I didn't press this button like that. I don't care. Whether they call back or not. Whether they call back or not. And been eating oatmeal. I'm not about to. If they call me. They call me. I'm about to jump into all them phone calls right now. Put this right over there. And the fact and the problem is that did not call back. Wait. Oh, there he is. I am Jasmine Renee Davis.
This is April from me. My phone had got disconnected. I apologize for that. I need to call back. For that.
You apologize for what?
My phone disconnecting on us. I believe it was my phone, but the phone had disconnected and then it wasn't allowing me to call back, so I apologize for that.
Oh, what wasn't allowing you to call back?
My phone system, it wasn't allowing me to call back, so it took me a second to call you right back.
Oh, I just want you to tell me exactly because I didn't know if you were saying that my phone wasn't allowing you to, my phone number wasn't allowing you to call back.
No, it was mine. It was my system. I apologize for that.
Yeah, because I was just saying that for you to have called and then to not call back was seeming to be a problem, but it doesn't matter because this is a problem that you all have created. And I'm Jasmine Renee Davis, and I'm wondering, the purpose of all this stuff. You all don't have my accurate information. You saying some inconsistent things yesterday. I did get some information, but not all. It seemed to be a challenge for me to even have a proper conversation with you all throughout the course of me talking to two different people there at We Energies. And I was on the phone for probably a good 2 hours or whatever, talking with you all. But then you sold my account to some collection agency, and it's just a mess. And but you all should have my information for other places. You have 3 addresses. And the information there is just not all there, and it's a problem. But then you don't have other addresses that I have had services at, and I want that information.
Sure. How long ago was it that you were at those addresses? That you're looking for?
One was in about May through June 2018.
Well, let's take a look. Hold on. And what was that address?
I don't have the exact address anymore, actually. I know that it was in my name. I know that I called you all about a gas leak there as well. And I know the month. I don't have the exact address right now, but is there any other way that you can look that up? Because even I would just say, not that I have to have the address or whatever, but I had said to you an address that I was at in 2000, about 2007, 2008. And you all said that I was not at that address. And I have the address, and you still didn't locate that information. And so that's a huge problem.
What one was that? The one that from that one it might not. We had a new system, so some things that far back don't show up. I mean, if I dig, I should be able to find it. But what was that address that you're referring to?
47. Which one are you telling me that you could possibly get or see?
When you were just saying from 2007, I believe you said.
And so that's what you mean by what was that address?
Yep. Mm-hmm, yep.
4705 36th Avenue, apartment number 2, Kenosha, Wisconsin, 53144.
Okay, let me just take a look here really quick. 1 second. Yeah, so I see your account. It says you were there from 10/23 of 2006 until 1/31/2008.
Okay, I'm gonna write this down.
Details, we don't have any details with those because of how old they are now.
Okay, well, I'm gonna write this down. You said it's what now? 10/23.
You started 10/23/2006, and then it looks like you ended January 31st of 2008.
When you say I ended, I didn't end it. What you mean by that?
Like you stopped the services in your name. It says
okay, yes.
January 31st.
Yeah, because I have not ended. Yeah, the services did, not me. You don't have that power over me.
No, just ended the services.
Well, I'm letting you all know that because people, get a little slave catchery around here at times. No, but...
no, I just meant ended your services.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I don't want to be in any enslavement. I don't, you all have sold my account to someone else. I don't know what the problem was or whatever for you all to have to give my information to someone else, or whatever the situation is. And I have to deal with them and I have to deal with you. It still says I owe you, but then I also have to deal with other people that say I owe them too. So it's like I owe 2 different companies at this time. But anyway, so do you see a balance there?
No, it wouldn't have a balance there. And if you did have a balance there, it would no longer be owing because that's too old. We wouldn't be collecting on any balance at that address.
It's still owed. It's still money that you all can always say that I have. So I need to access that amount of money. I have been through just some things, and I want to make sure that I take care of all my matters. You all can send me a letter and tell me that it's not owed or something like that. Otherwise, it is owed, and it is owed, but I have to get a letter about that.
I don't see any balance here. I was just saying if there was one, it would no longer be collectible from us. But I don't see a balance at this address at the 4705.
No. Just when you talk, just say everything completely. Please do not summarize it or abbreviate it or any of that stuff. But where are you finding this information? Where did you locate this information from here?
I just looked in the system at the address that you provided me. It's in our system. It's called Legacy, and so I just looked through Legacy, and that's where we can see like older stuff from the old. Because we had an old, like I said, we redid our system, so that's like stuff we can see from our older system.
Okay, and can you look up other addresses from my name and find other addresses through your Legacy system? Or
well, so those you have to look directly like at a specific address. If it's not, because in your profile I see the 3 addresses I'm guessing that you were referring to earlier. I can see those 3, but if you were at a different address, I would have to look at like the specific address. It's not going to pull it. I can't pull it up like by your name or anything.
Yeah, but please just do not guess. Any information you ask, I can just tell you. I just am really serious about assumptions and all guessing and all that stuff. I want to be accurate. And so I would need, I'm telling you all that this is a demand to send this information out. What you're saying to me, that this money is not owed, but you do see that there was an account there and through the dates.
Let me see. I'm not sure if I can do that for this address because it's so old. Because it's through, like I was saying, it's through Legacy. I don't think I have that ability to send anything. I'm gonna just look and see. I could send like a service verification letter for these dates for you if you'd like. And I could put in there that there's zero balance owing for this address if you'd like that. With the service verification letter, it'll just say the dates that you resided there, and then I can also include in there that there's no balance owing if you'd like.
That's a start. Yeah, you can send that, sure. But that's just, just a part of it. But there was a balance on there. You have to put, there's a balance, but you are not, and tell the reason why it's not a balance owing too. Because if a collection agency has it, they could be trying to still collect on it. Those people pass it to one collection agency to another collection agency, and they keep asking for it. You all may not be trying to do anything with it, but others very well are and could be. But yeah, you can get that information sent out though to me, please. April, We Energies.
So what address do you want this information sent to, or do you want it emailed, or how would you like it?
You can email it and you can send a physical copy out. That would be appreciated. I can tell you a physical address, a mailing address. Please do not associate my name with any thing further. Do not attach any bills or anything like that to this address that I'm giving you.
No.
I told you this is strictly a mailing address. And any bills, whatever, do not associate my problems or anything that you have other than just sending mail out, but do not add on any accounts balances to someone else's bills or to someone else's address, or do not address anyone else about me. Only strictly address me in your situation that you may or may not have about me. Okay, so I want to tell you that just so you know, because I know sometimes people take the initiative to kind of assume or to just say, hey, they want to put this, and somebody might be in the same household, and they gather things together, and so they, just like even with like insurance, they say, okay, well, you all are at this house, and this is the address and all that. No, this is not that. Okay, so I want you to understand that.
Yep, I won't be doing anything like that.
Okay, so whatever you plan to do, before you do it, send it to me in writing, and I can look over it, and I can tell you whether or not it's appropriate, please, okay? What does mean?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
So are you able to just make sure whatever you all have or whatever it's about, you send that correspondence in writing to me before you make any decisions from We Energies about my account or anything with my name, social security, date of birth on it?
Yep, the only thing I'm sending you to the address that you were providing me is your service verification letter. I won't be doing anything else with the services at that address.
There's nothing to do at all with the services at the address. This has nothing to do with the services at that address.
I'm just sending the letter to that address. That's all I'm doing. I'm just sending the letter.
Are you asking me to spell that, please? I can't spell it. Are you asking the street or the city?
And then what is the email address where you would like me to send the information?
Okay, sure. I was just not saying anything to you as I just was just sitting here, whatever. But the email address is the law offices of Jasmine R. Davis at gmail.com.
And you said the law offices of Jasmine
R. Davis.
And then what was the rest? I'm sorry.
The email address is the law offices of Jasmine R. Davis at gmail.com, and that's an active account.
Perfect. Okay. So I got, for the mailing address, I have 121.
Out. Make sure when you send those items out that it includes why the balance is not old or whatever. When you say it's old, it's still, saying like there's something there perhaps. But just put that because there's a debt out there. But one problem too with that place, it's a high debt. The heat was not working. The thermostat or something was not working. The heat would be turned up to 90 and it was being billed, but nothing was being pushed out appropriately there. And so I know that there is a high bill, and can you get the metering and other things? I'm trying to figure out. It was something that, like, I believe that it was. Hold on, wait a minute. Matter of fact, I believed. Wait,
I can't get that information.
I believe that
for that account.
I believe that for that residence, the heat was working and it was stuck at 90 as I look at it, because I had to open windows and stuff too because it got so hot there. That is what happened there. The heater was stuck on 90 degrees. For some reason, that thermostat was stuck at 90 degrees there because I had to open the windows because it was so hot in there. Yeah. And so, that's what happened there at that location. And the property owners refused to even address it, fix it, or anything like that. But the heater would not turn down. It was somehow stuck on 90. So, these are problems that I have to address. But can you send me out about the meter readings and things like that?
I can't send out anything for that one. That's too old. We don't have any of that information anymore. Since it's old, I don't have that information anymore. For 2008, I would just be able to send the service verification letter saying the dates that you resided there.
And so now, it's not the fact that you can send me the dates about me residing there. It's you send me the dates about where there was service there. That's what your problem is, not me residing there, me having service there in my name.
Right, the dates you had service with us, yeah, sorry.
With We Energies, that's why I say you, okay? So, I know there should be another department that can access this. This is We Energies. People can get any information. This is about energies. This is about serious situations.
Yeah, with these are over 10 years. We wouldn't be able to get that information for that long ago. We wouldn't be able to get that.
So I'm saying, like, perhaps your department wouldn't, but I'm sure there's someone that I can get the information from.
No, I don't believe we're able to get any of that information anymore. because like I said, we have a whole new system now. These meters, it might not even be the same meters that are there anymore because this is so old. This is almost 10 years, or this is almost 20 years ago.
Okay, well, so now you're planning on sending out the letter for that address. And can you just, if you can, otherwise, whatever, if you say those types of things, I'm going to just disregard them. I'm not going to like assume or pay any attention to them or anything like that. I'm not going to reply to them when you don't use words. That's just an appropriate way that I would like to handle this conversation, just so that I won't assume the wrong thing or answer the wrong questions. Okay. But I have so just want to make sure that you know that you're sure with that. When I say okay, I'm just asking, like, do you understand, just to make sure that what I'm saying is, I'm validating what I'm saying when I say okay. But there's just different issues with this whole account. There is money owed, and I would like to get a detailed description of how you all came up with the balance that is actually owed on my account. Like, as far as what the meter readings are, what, I'm requesting a full breakdown for every single way. Whether it's taxes, I want everything separately outlined, identified, and matched up according to the balance that you all are saying that We Energy is charging me with, literally.
One second here. I just want to see. So it looks like you were at. You had services at 5211 52nd Street, Unit 21, and that was from 2018 to 2019. So that one you had a balance of $805.29 when the services ended, and then that balance transferred over to 6514 22nd Avenue in Kenosha. So when you started there at that address, the $805.29 transferred over there. And then when you ended services at 6514 22nd Avenue in Kenosha, the balance was $4,432.27. And then that balance transferred over to the 923 Wilson Street, the upper in Racine. So when you started there, that balance automatically transferred over. So the balance is just from these three addresses that's coming over. Hello?
Yes, I'm here. You said all that because why? What was the reason for you to say that?
I was letting you know where they came from. So it's just those three addresses where this balance came from. You said you wanted to know where it came from. I'm not sure how much I can send out to you. I mean, I can send you a final bill for your last address, and that'll give you the whole balance.
I haven't gotten to that point to ask you about that yet.
You just did. You said
no. I didn't. Wait a minute, April. Hold on. Wait a minute, April. No, I did not. I did not ask you to send me a bill, and I asked you to send that final bill from that residence. I told you to send me a detailed description, including meter readings, including what was charged for taxes, including all that was informed where exactly to itemize each and everything. You did not reply to that. You just said some numbers and some addresses. Please, I'm not allowing you to assume and tell me what I did or did not say. I told you I did not say that. I told you I did not get there. And you gonna tell me that I just did. I don't need you to tell me anything that I'm doing. I know what I said. You are the one that came with something totally different. Now, I'm serious about what I say, and I'm not going to mess around with you, and I don't ever mess around. So you can find that, you don't know me. And so it's not like you know me. It's not like, you're the expert on me. Okay? But this is who I am. And this is how I address specific matters. And you're not going to insult me and tell me that I'm doing something that I did not do. And I told you I did not. And I know that I'm being professional on this phone. And I just asked you that I want to handle one matter at a time. And I was not there yet. And I want to address the issue that I asked you first that you did not address. And why would you say that you addressed it and you didn't? That's why I'm asking you why. I asked you for the meter readings. I asked you for the taxes that were charged. I asked you for all of which, in all of the situation, why my bill is that much. Specific details of everything that you all are billing me for, including taxes, including the meter readers. How are you accumulating this? How was it calculated? How was it figured out? Not what address it came from and the money that, no, I already know that. Okay. And when I tell you that you talk about you're going to send me a bill, I later ask you, okay, now that I have that information and now that you know that you're going to send this information out to me, now I would like you to send me a bill, the actual physical bill. See, these are different things. Okay, the bill is going to have one specific information, but I want to have a amount of each and every single physical thing that I can tally up, that I can figure out, that I can make sure that I have, and that everything is appropriate for me and my situation and the question that I asked. Those 3 bills are all 3 different bills. But I asked you for one spreadsheet of how you all got all of these numbers, including all taxes, including all late fees, including reconnection fees, including all this stuff. There were programs that may or may not have taken off money. There's just how the money just went this place, that place, all over the place. There was energy assistance that have been paid on my account. I want all of the numbers that were sent, all of the things, okay, that have been sent. Everything that has to do with any numbers. I want to know how it all came about. What money came in through payments. I want everything on my account. Those bills do not show that. And they are not going to show it in the way that I asked you to give me a detailed description. You have probably things like disconnection notices that you may have that is on that final bill. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for more a specific account of all of these things. Like I said, whether or not energy assistance was paid, who paid it, how much they paid, what date they paid, how much did you charge for taxes, how much did you charge for anything. What was the meter? How did you come up with that? Okay, this is the meter here, the meter there. All these different things all matter. What was the payments that you have received from me? Anything that you have to do with dollar amounts, different figures, how you count it, how you get the money, all of that stuff, that's what I'm asking you for. Anything associated with my social security number.
Okay, I'll send out, we have an S&T report and that'll send out all that information for you.
What did you say?
We have what's called an S&T report, so I'll send that out and it'll give you the information on the account.
Okay, what is S&T?
I don't even know what they stand for, honestly. That's just what they are in the system. It's an S&T report. It shows you what payments are made on the account, where the balances came from, things like that. But that's the best.
Okay, I can hold the phone while you ask someone. No, I can't. I can hold the phone while you ask someone what exactly that is, please. Okay, and then I will want to know what it all has and what it all does. So I can hold the phone as you do that. You all is talking about you want to have a supervisor to call me. Come on, let's handle this call, please, because I'm not going to keep doing this over and over again every day. I want to handle my matters, and I want to be able to take care of my stuff. And then when I have more information, I can discuss things further. Please just ask someone what. I appreciate it. These people not even knowing, they not educating properly because it's a situation where they have a specific level and keep people at a specific place. It's almost like that phrase where you want to see me doing better but not better than you. There's nobody that's going to do better than me being me. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for myself. You do your stuff for yours. I'm not doing better than you. I'm not having to do better than you.
Hello, Jasmine? Hello?
I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. So I was listening to you. You were saying the name that I told you to call me. I do not authorize you to call me just Jasmine. I told you that I'm not Miss Davis. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis.
Okay, Jasmine Renee Davis, I apologize. So the S and T report is just what we have it in our system. There's not like a specific name for S and T report. That's just how it is. But the S report that's going to show your usage, and then the T report that's going to show your billing and your transactions. So what you paid and what you were billed.
So SNT.
Yeah, they're just together, like S and T report.
S and A
We
N
usually just
D.
send them together, but they can be separate.
AND.
Yeah, like S and then A and D and then T.
Okay, I didn't know if you said SNT, but it has to be. Who did you ask that information to? No
My coworker right
billion
here.
dollar corporation is just going to put out just one letter and describe it and not have a definition for it. No one should. And so I find that how you all do business with so many people that are professionals in Wisconsin, there are people that are very strict. I'm strict, and there are people that are very diversified as well in ways that they calculate things at all different kinds of scales. And those people are not going to accept you just telling them that it's just something that's called an S report or a T report. I also asked you about the money that has been paid into the account as far as from anywhere, any energy assistance or any other fundings and things like that. Not only from what I have paid, but what has been paid in the account, any credit amounts, anything that has to do. I want itemized about usage. I want all that stuff specifically itemized.
Yeah, the T report should show you all of that. The T report will have the billing transactions, so anything that was applied to the account and anything that was billed.
But I would like to make sure that it's a specific name of who it came from and the amount. I also would like to make sure, like, any notes on my account, any community, like any conversations, any
We don't send those out. Those you have to get a subpoena for. We don't send out any notes that are on the account.
And so anything that someone has called you all and discussed about my account through any programs, what about any programs and things like that I've been active in? What about the information for those programs?
Yeah, anything that's like noted on the account like that, that's the T report will have like anything that was applied, like transaction wise, like if you had funds applied to the account. But as far as like anything noted on the account or anything like that, that's not something we're able to share with the customers. They have to get that subpoenaed.
So you all have information about me that you are telling me that I can't know what you all have discussed about me.
We don't discuss you with anybody. If you're getting energy assistance, they'll send over a promise, and that can be noted on your account. But otherwise, we don't discuss you or anything like that with anybody else. The only thing that would be noted on your account is what was promised to the account. It's called a promise from energy assistance, and that's the only thing that gets noted.
And so why would I have to subpoena you for that?
Those are just the rules. Like, we don't send out things that are noted on the account. If you want something from energy assistance, you would have to call energy assistance and they can provide it.
No, and so I'm not only talking about that. I'm talking about I want information of a program that I perhaps was on. I've been on a program that you all have as well. I want the information on the program as well.
What program? Like Lyft? Was it Lyft or like
Yes.
EIP or something like that?
It was. I have been on Are you referring to? And I asked you just to say exactly the name of it. Early identification progress or project, or not project,
Program.
but program.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Early identification program. Yes.
I want information. My information from that. I want all the information that is attached with my social security number.
Yeah, we're not able to send all of that out. There's not anything that I can send out as far as that.
So you cannot verify that I was active on that program.
No. Mm-mm.
I just don't believe that. I won't accept it, rather. How could I be on a program somewhere and you are telling me that you refuse to send me out any verification of me being on that program?
I'm not refusing. We just don't have anything that we send out.
You didn't even ask that. You didn't even ask that because from what I was told, that's a separate program from you. What department, again, I'm going to ask you this again. What department are you a supervisor from at We Energies?
Customer service.
So you don't have all the information through those from those programs, though.
No, I don't.
So why are you saying something like that? And it's causing a problem for me. Because if I would just accept that, then I would never know what information I can or cannot get. And I know I can get that information. So then, since you are calling to try to handle all these matters, then it would be most appropriate for you to ask me to speak with someone in that department or get that information from those people in that department and sell accurate information instead of saying something that you can't do, that you don't even know what's possible.
I apologize. I'm pretty sure that there's nothing that we can send out, but if you would like to speak to somebody from that department, I can definitely get you to somebody from that department.
How are you pretty sure and you just said that you don't know?
I didn't say I don't know. I said we can't, but you're saying that we can, so I'm telling you now that I'm pretty sure that we can't, but I could double check or I can get you to somebody from that department.
April, you said that you don't know.
So would you like to speak with somebody from that department, or would you like me to put you on hold and check for you?
I don't need you to speak for me at all. What's the phone number over there?
Let me get it for you 1 second here. Okay, that number is going to be 1-800.
What department is this phone number that you're saying to me? Whose phone number?
They now call it LIFT. It's no longer called the Early Identification Program. It's now called LIFT, but it's for LIFT.
What is that phone number?
That phone number is 1-800-991-8240.
And so why did you discuss if it was no longer early identification program? Why did you even mention EIP?
Because I didn't know which you were talking about programs that you were in within our company, so I didn't know which program you were talking about. But
you said that it's a program and that is accurate information. That is a good point. Mm-hmm. But what I'm asking you is, if that is, then wouldn't you have just told me, okay, yes, but that is the same program now? I'm just referring to this in particular when I said to you that I want information from the two separate programs. I find that perhaps I could have asked you for the information that would have been combined into the one program instead of asking and demanding for two separate informations. Are now all those informations combined into one program, and that was supposed to be the LIFT program. How is that LIFT spelled, and what does that mean? What does LIFT stand for?
LIFT, LIFT, and I'm really not sure what it stands for. They just call it LIFT. It's not abbreviated like EIP was. It's not abbreviated. It's just called LIFT.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, because it seems to be more to it than that.
Let me just look. Hold on 1 second. I just always called it Lyft, so let me just see 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll look for that because I'm not too familiar with it. So, it's the low income forgiveness tool.
And so, but you just said that, oh no, that's what it's called. They have always called it. You're speaking all this stuff for we energies, and it's not, and all you have to do is just look. It took you not even 20 seconds to do. But you're saying all this information out there, April, at We Energies, and you're not verifying it. And you are really...
I apologize. I'm not familiar with that program. I really am not, so I apologize.
Right, but you constantly are answering all these questions and causing problems and stir-ups. For what reason? These are all false narratives that you are giving out and validating them and passing them off as accurate information, and it's not. If perhaps I didn't have this information, or I wasn't looking for more information and I just accepted, I would not be able to get as far and do the things that I would like to do to be successful with the reason for my call and the information from We Energies. But I continue to ask, and then you look further, and then you say, oh, okay. You know, that is, I don't know what standards you all have. Who has the information there at We Energies that actually knows it? Because it just seems like you all are just, how are you handling people's energy to their house? These people's social security numbers, their work addresses, their all kinds of things that are attached, their phone numbers, their email addresses, their phone calls, their money that gets paid. And you are just saying anything. And then you're telling me, oh, this, and then I say, okay, I know different. And if I wouldn't say, I don't know, but really, I don't know. Maybe you're just putting me through this whole school to prison pipeline sort of situation. And perhaps you tell me just to kind of keep me stuck on stupid. But when I tell you that I know different, then you say, okay, well, now you have to tell me. It's perhaps just a case of you saying only as much, giving me just enough information to just push me on my way to say that you did have the call. If I don't have the knowledge of something and I'm calling you a place, what's the balance that you all are saying that I have to pay you?
The total balance is $6,850.38.
So you're asking me to pay you $6,850.38. And then I can't even get any information. Some of these times I wasn't even getting heat. Some of this time, you know, it wasn't your fault, but things were not working in the places. And so when I try to talk to you all about that, I try to get information or whatever the situation is, it's just like for instance, how much do you all charge? Like, how do you get the amount, to know how much you're going to charge someone, for heat? How do you get that, number? How do you bill people according to, that ratio, as far as what they usage or whatever to the dollar?
The therms, as far as like the therms.
What is it?
The therms. The gas is measured in therms.
Can you explain that?
That's just, so however many therms you use, like however, like most people use like the furnace or like the hot water heater, so however many therms are used when you're using those, that's what you're charged for.
And do you know what therms are?
They're the measurement that we use for the gas.
Oh, so that's your terminology? That's your word that you call it? What does that mean? What does that term stand for?
The company.
what does the company term stand for in the company?
I'm not sure how to answer that question. We have kilowatts for electric and therms for gas.
I was going to ask you about that too. That's what I was saying. Okay, so you don't know what therms are, but you know that you use them. Do you know what kilowatts are?
That's just how we measure what you've used. So your kilowatts are how many kilowatts you've used. So what you're using is the kilowatts for the electric and the therms is the gas. I don't know how else to explain it. I apologize.
So you don't know what kilowatts are?
I know what kilowatts are. It's a measurement of the electric energy that's used, and that's how we calculate it for your monthly bill.
Okay.
So, like, 1 kilowatt can light a 100-watt light bulb. It's the measurement of electricity that we use.
Okay, and so when I ask you to explain these things, is to know that you all are educated on things that you're supposed to be educated on, because I don't always know everything. But and this is why I ask. I want to understand where you're getting this information from. Why is this all being how is this being built? What is the figures? What is the math? What is the science that you all are using? What is the currency that you use as well? And so this is why I asked you exactly, and you're saying you're not explaining to me until I say, oh, do you not know, or no, this is different, or you should have the appropriate information about all of the math, all of the science, all of the currency, whatever it is, the language. You should know that. And that's the reason why I asked, because I would like to have a solid conversation that can grow, and through that accumulation I can better understand where my money is, how to count my money, and how my money is being asked for, or how my money is being counted. Like, for instance, a lot of times, and I've seen a good point here, okay, where people are talking about the price of living is increasing from $1, and it's like, to buy a bottle of orange juice at a 1 gallon bottle of orange juice is $10 or $11 today. And I used to can get a gallon of orange juice for like $4 or perhaps even $3. And it's because perhaps the items are not, and this is just one way of looking at it, the items it costs more, of course, to create things and to improve things and to change and all of that. So that may be about 10 or 20% of the problem. But perhaps the value of the US dollar has been changed because of different things. Tariffs are one thing to consider of how people are factoring in. Just say, you all are in the business to sell therms and kilowatts. Okay, that imagery is important. You all have figured out a way to, with the sustainability, to find a decent enough function through electrons, through gas, through energy, to charge that amount so people can be able to deal with the climate in whatever region they're in or whatever the situation is. And so for me to understand the US dollar and to understand that perhaps through currency, the US dollar is only about 40 cents per dollar. It's not even 100 pennies, really. But it's seeming that way. But in a marketplace, it's not. But the currency has not changed, and it won't change. There are people that are working to restore the US dollar, but things like gold, it won't. Gold is pretty consistent. But coins matter. But to understand those, build those, and those different things is credibility. Okay, it is the appreciation of the fact of the matter to really comprehend where, okay, it's almost like a promise to pay. That dollar is a debt, and the significance of it matters. And so if I go to another country and I hold my dollar, they may value my dollar because of my reputation. It may be $1 in United States of America, or 50 cents or 75 cents to my $1, even in America. But I can go to another country, even like Mexico or somewhere, and I may get $3 for my $1 because of the relationship of it's almost like credit, but it says so much. So there's a balance there. There's a debt there, and the debt is not always to receive or to give. It's sometimes it's not like money owed. It's money received. And so that's why I'm asking. These things are really important. And so when I tell you that I'm very serious about language, currency, math, and science, I am. We Energies is not a place that I'm just going to talk to you and allow a basic conversation. I'm not going to sit there on this phone and appreciate you just saying simple things to me, knowing that $6,850.38 is enough to buy a piece of land where I can put a solar windmill up and formulate my own energy and create my own things, where I can buy a generator, a solar power generator, where I can do things to create my own independent energy. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm talking to you about something that is serious like this, I want accurate answers. I don't have to reserve any sort of tolerance or temperament to allow you to give me misinformation just to push this conversation along. You called my phone today. Okay? And not only did you call my phone today, I did not ask for it to speak to you, because an employee of We Energies found that they did not want to have the call. They did not want to do their job. They just push it off to a supervisor. So what's the point of you not educating one another on your job, where you have to have people to go through hours and hours to try to figure out things where you don't know what the S is, you don't know what the T is, you sort of know what therms are, you sort of know what kilowatts are, and but it's just almost just building more and more notes and reports from more people. It's almost this witness theory that I'm seeing here, and that I'm kind of creating just so I can make it and manage and be able to explain, because these things are important to me. But if 1,000 people have a note on me, even just 2 people, 3 people in the company, there are logics out there and reasons to believe beyond just a doubt or whatever, and even the burden of proof, that if two people are speaking up for me or against or opposed to me, their information perhaps will be more valid than me. And it's not about the folktale of two heads are better than one. Okay, because that is not the case. There are people who are literally born out of a womb that they have two heads and it looks like one body, but they have all their own organs. They have all their own likeness. They have all their own body, their own self, but somehow they are connected. But they have all their own organs, all of their own. So a person is able to accumulate in any way that they can possibly be, but that does not take away from the credibility of me. And I am not going to continue to deal with you all who find that you are going to pass my social security number along without my permission. You make reports about me that you don't even want to tell me what they are. I take responsibility for not having the money all the time to pay my bills and getting out there and trying to be grown, and I wasn't. Okay? But I'm here today, and that person that, when I got those bills, what I was, the age that I was in then is still who I am now, but I'm in a whole nother age and I have way more experience and I have knowledge. None of those people taught me. They just said, sign up for these programs and here's the bills to get. You all don't have the education. Those programs never had the education. I was just out there knowing that I had to get some lights on and I didn't want to go and ask somebody else and admit that I needed to learn something in particular because I did not want to look stupid. But for me, I know that I have to get, and that's why when I asked you, I was wanting to know if you knew what therms are, if you know what kilowatts are, because if you don't, say that, because there may be an opportunity, if that is what you want to know at your job, what that information is. And it can not only take your job to a next level. I'm not saying that you want a promotion, but at least you don't have to be all messed up at work. Your day does not have to be hard. You do not have to suffer through your day all the time. You can have an important conversation at the level that you are at, and then you can continue to learn for your own self. I don't know what kind of energy you use. I don't know how you power your house, if you do or not. Some people live in complete darkness. They get everything from the mud. And that's okay. But what I'm telling you is you're not going to have me on this back burner sort of scenario in a situation where I know what it is that I'm looking for and the reason for my call. You cannot channel me in some kind of funnel and assume that I'm like anybody else that have called here. If you all do not have the capability to understand that I am not in an organized situation, or that I am not grouping, or that I have my own life, my own problems, I'm looking at it from my own point of view, you all do not need to no longer sell to the state of Wisconsin. There are many people, I am sure, that would like the contracts to serve energy or to develop energy to be pushing millions of buildings, households, and these things. It's more than you all sending out a cookie book or some sort of weatherization packet where you don't even send, you don't even have all the time. You were out of the cookie book at one time in the season, in the winter season. You were out of, you did not have weatherization kits appropriately, but you're still advertising them from We Energies. So, but what I'm saying is, if you do not find it appropriate to be able to have the actual conversation and you're going to just assume and tell me these things, I find it inappropriate. But I have to continue to let you know what it is that I'm talking about. Okay? I want you to know that this is not some simple thing. When you told me that I had already told you, that I wanted a bill from 923 Wilson Street, Upper Racine, Wisconsin, 53405. No, I did not. I did not tell you that I wanted that yet. To have to get through each point, but you are spending this time in the driver's seat of my car and having my door open, telling me that and kicking me out and not allowing me to even wear a seatbelt, or telling me to wear a seatbelt and I don't want to wear the seatbelt. I'm in the driver's seat. Okay, this is not a co-pilot type of situation. This is me driving, talking to you, and having a transactional sort of situation. This is supply and demand. Whether I'm supplying and you're demanding, or I'm supplying and demanding, or you're supplying, I'm demanding. If you are supplying, I am demanding. If I am supplying, you are demanding. But I also know how to supply and demand. And that is where the situation sometimes gets tricky, where you are seeming to be the type of business where you do not want me to know how to supply and demand. Okay? I do not need that. I do not need to call you and fight with you. I do not need to hear things that you're saying and you're telling me that you're not saying them. Because it causes this thing, especially from a state of Wisconsin that is quick to call somebody mentally ill, that is quick to write somebody off, that is quick to, and I'm telling you right now, that is to cancel someone's culture and give them a civil death immediately because of accusations of others, reports of others. If you are saying these things and you have a social work department right there at We Energies, I know that you have different things in different departments in We Energies where you deal with less fortunate, I suppose, where you deal with people who are habitual and not paying their bills. That people apply, they talk to you, oh, it's a crisis. All that stuff. Those people are only funded because they give reports to other people that you do not know the humiliation, the downfalls, and the shortcomings of what it comes from. So when I ask you that I want information on a program, and you do not know that, and you're telling me no, don't do that. And then you change it, and then you say, well, I'm sure, but I'm just gonna say whatever just to make you basically shut up. That's unprofessional. I would not allow you to continue to. That would be probably some sort of disciplinary action that would happen to you, and you would have to get some growth opportunity through that, because you do not let somebody call your business and you tell them whatever and assume that I'm coming and let me walk over and terrorize We Energies. If you have your information, you have your information. See, I'm not the type of person that is going to abuse you, but I'm telling you right now, you won't abuse me. And there has been some abuse on this call. And you may look at it as, oh no, this person is insane. There was no abuse. That is over exaggerating. What constitutes abuse is a serious thing. I'm not a violent person. I'm out here to get my education. I'm out here to learn and to be literate as a Black woman. You do not understand what it is to be me. And when you call my phone because of a call that I made that I spent like 2 hours on, and then now a call like this that has been 1 hour and 8 minutes, I have to get something out of that. I'm not here to assign your time as a waste. I am not trash. I don't know you, and I don't know you to be trash. And so I'm not going to allow my fundamentals of learning to be mixed up and pushed over as a lost cause. This stuff is deeper than what you believe or anything. I have problems here. I told you that there was one house where it was abusive. The heat was 90 degrees. I had a toddler in my house at 90-degree weather in a small apartment. Okay. And the windows didn't always open as much. And then it was this serious situation. Okay. So I had to choose whether I'm getting, problems. And then they say, well, you can't do this. You're going to damage our floors. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. So I have to pay this specific amount of money. I'm having a conversation. This is from 2006, 2007, 2008. During that time, I had to shut off. I was not even at that apartment in 2007 for a period of time. Okay. But I'm asking you for the particular information. Where can I get this information from? You all are saying that you don't have it. So I still have to take care of my matters and still fight for myself. But the information that is out there, I should have. That's just like for me being able to just submit a piece of paper and say, here. But and because I have every right to get that information from you. But for you to say no and you have it, now I got to go out there. I got to pay money to go to court. I might have to, get physical in a situation or anything. It can go through a whole dirty situation. These people like you all have, these bounty hunters, these debtors out, these people, collection agencies that are very, very, very messy and real unprofessional. Okay, I don't know how you thought that these people representative of me, and that's another reason why. Okay, but I have to go a step further because I had got into some kind of agreement. Okay, but I never agreed for you all to sell my social security number. I never agreed for you all to transfer my name or social security number or date of birth or my information, any address, anything about me. I never agreed to that. But what I agreed to was the fact that I would accumulate a bill and I would pay that bill. And I'm telling you right now, I didn't go into any of these situations not knowing that there would be other things that came up. At times I would say, shit, I have to pay, I have to get groceries. My car has to be fixed. Someone did something to my car. I have to get that fixed. I have to do the things that I have to do. You know what I'm saying? And these are times where this was all of that situation. But when you tell me that you won't give me information knowing that there's somewhere, it's just me being more of a far out type of a person that puts words into action. I go out, I do the things that I have to do, and I do things well within. See, for me, I'm not employed, so I have everything I can do. If you tell me don't talk to you, you're not in my boundary. But anything that is public information, anything that is my information, I got it all covered. You all have jurisdictions or restrictions or whatever, but you won't put restrictions on things that have my name on it. So now you say, I have to take you to court. So it gets to the point where, fine. If I have to take you to court to get my information, that's fine. I have to sue you to get the language that you all are using about me. I have to sue you to get the information about probably various currency, who you have did relationships with, the exact information about who and why. I want the contract. You sent my information over to a collection agency. I'm asking you for that contract. You're telling me that I didn't even get that far, but I want you to take note of that. You all have a contract with someone and you sold my information. I want the receipt. I want that to be identified because it is most appropriate. You have different math. You have different science because you know what? How are you all configuring this thing? It has been a conversation where the meter has been read and some numbers have been off. There has been times where, okay, wait, what meter is yours? What meters is this person? Or you all say, when I come there, make sure that you have everything turned off. It's been times where you all have told me that you cannot turn my energy back on. from just a switch from your office that you had to come out. So I had to wait days to get my energy back on. And it's been times where you turn it right on and just within hours. And so I want that information. I want to understand how and why. I get to pay for all my education. Whatever relationship I get into, just as well as you guys say, oh, well, you didn't pay your bill, so we just transferred over. You agreed to this when you didn't pay your bill. Well, you know what? You didn't agree to anything about me. Just as well as I didn't agree to you to do anything about me. But what I did know is I'm talking to you on this phone right now. And these are informations. And as I grow, my conversation grows. As I grow, all my problems in my matter grows. Okay? I have every right that I could be diligent to find. Is We Energies actually doing what they're supposed to do? Is this most appropriate? You all are right now going through, it's a contract right now with the state of Wisconsin, where you all are trying to get some more money, some more funding. There's some open things right now, literally taking place where you're trying to say, well, you know, the amount of energy you're trying to figure out what would be the best for people that are, you know, getting energy from you. And you're going to do negotiations and different things with the state of Wisconsin. Well, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, you all have to know that people go through different things in their lives. Just because I'm not telling you all that I have this big old business or whatever does not mean that I cannot come away. Just because I have been on these poverty stricken programs to you all, you know what? At times I had no other choice. But the way that I count my money, the way that I count my things, the basis of those things, and there is a foundation there. And because of my particular actions and what I do as far as language, currency, math, science, capabilities, these things are important. And I want these things. And I can outline them. I can identify them. But what I cannot do is allow you to stunt my growth. Tell me that you don't have information, or keep telling me that there's a product that you have, but you're not going to tell me the full detail of it. Or maybe you just don't want to get up out of your chair or go to your cubicle or walking or whatever. You have to find what gets you up. That's just like if someone is a football player getting paid starting off about $700,000 a year to millions of dollars a year. If they're getting beat up out there on the field, but they have money, okay, they can get different equipment, better helmets, all that. But there are different things that you have to abide by the standards of the National Football League, okay? So you have to go up to them and say, listen, this is what I am aware of. I want to make sure that I stay healthy. I want to make sure that I thrive in who I am. I'm not out here to break my bones and go through all kinds of surgeries or mishaps. I want to continue to make my money. If you do not want me to be a part of the organization, and that's fine. If I work here and make $1 million for 1 year and never work with the NFL, that's fine. But during this time that I work there, I'm going to make sure that I protect myself. And I'm going to put the money into that. That's why when people sit up there and they talk about they accept minimum wage, that is minimum wage. That is not the amount that you're supposed to get from the employer. That is the minimum amount that these employers can pay. But there is no way that I'm going to keep having somebody put debts out on me, send my stuff over to collections, and have these people fighting me and not understand anything. I'm not doing anything to harm you. So I'm not going to go out and get some spikes and different things. So when I'm out there running on the field that I'm going to harm somebody. But I'm also going to tell you $1 million is not going to be enough. How about $2 million? And $1 million of those dollars is going to go so that that I can reach my full performance and be myself and not have to feel the effects of the harm that people are doing when they say, hey, take that person down. because we know that that person is good at what she does, and we do not want her in this game. If we get this one person down, we'll be able to do the things that we can do to overcome this and win these championships. And they get rings, they get parties, they get parades, and they get a better accreditation for whatever it is that they are fighting for. But I'm going to make sure that I equip myself properly. And how I do that is I ask questions. I accumulate my growth. I understand. I learn more about the situation while I'm here, while I'm there, wherever I am. All I have is the literacy, and I'm going to continue to ask the questions that I have to ask so that I can know what I want to be. I am not going to be out here just accepting anything because it's out there. It's just like people say, hey, people are out here giving out free plates of food. You want some? No, I don't just eat anybody's cooking. Well, you're hungry. You don't have anything else. Okay, that's fine. But I'm telling you what, one bite of that food could be fatal. So I make the choice what I choose, and I do not have to just accept you all just saying that you don't want to do the work and that I will be exhausted in what I say. And I understand the importance of me equipping myself with proper literacy, legitimately, and education. And so I do not take kindly or lightly at all when I have to go through different things. And then for you to have a job is insult. I'm not here to be victimized. I'm not here to be injured. I have a debt with you all. So much of a debt where you found that you would send it off to somebody else that literally fights over the phone. It's a chaos experience. Literally. It's almost, when I call on the phone, it's almost as if I'm walking into some sort of smoke mirrors and like some unlawful type of harmful situation. And it's so bright too. It's obvious. So when I ask you these questions, I want my information because I have to fight somebody else about this shit. This stuff that I actually did not do business with. So I want all my information. Those collection agencies, they're dishonest about stuff. They see what they can get, but it's not about them. But I'm just explaining to you the significance and how tremendous it is for you to answer the questions that I asked you on topic, not saying something else to me to push me away, to persuade me for something different, or to try to make me look stupid so that you can encourage yourself. You do all your encouraging that you want, but do not overstep that line, because sometimes that line is so thin where I don't even have to put a line there. You should know better. I have to constantly go through things. Hold on, wait a minute. Stay on track. I did not ask you that. And because you find that you are a supervisor, you have this complex and you have this power struggle that you're not going to bear off on me. I am not your coworker at all in any way. I don't know you. You don't know me. You are not in control of me. I am in control. I am the boss. You may be the boss over there. That's fine. So boss your stuff. And I take care of mine. This is not a relationship that I'm building with you personally. This is we energies that I'm talking to. And so I have to get everything that I have to get. When you tell me, oh no, I'm saying, wait a minute. I know I've heard this conversation before. And a lot of times when I'm talking to these people, I'm in a hurry. I've been in a hurry. I've been in this desperate situation where I need my lights on. My lights are off. I gotta make sure that my children have a refrigerator, food, and lights on, and heat, fan, whatever it is. Okay? And so I haven't always gotten all the information, but you all have not did a good job of sending me paperwork to learn about it. You do not educate. You just let people get on programs and they don't have the knowledge. Well, I've been on these programs and I want the information from these programs. And I mean that. And that's a demand. So I have put out some of this information, and I'm going to continue this call, and I'm going to ask you different things. You said that you already have it written down where you're going to send out a service verification letter to me. And then, so there are other things like a S&T report. And so I want to discuss these things. There are also bills that I'm asking you to send, and I would tell you the exact dates that I want those bills to be sent out to me. You said that you can send those bills out, but I am not at the address of those bills. So my question would be to you, how could I make sure that you send them out to a mailing address, those bills out to a mailing address, not the last known address, because you all have told me that you only send bills out to the address that it was addressed to. So when you tell me that I already asked you that, I'm already so far advanced in levels way beyond what you're not gonna force me to be at this place of stillness and numbness and divide within my own self, knowing that I know exactly what I'm doing. This is a purposeful call. I am on task. This is a target sort of thing where I'm specifically talking about each point where I already know that I'm handling this. I call you all when I was ready to call you. You did not call me and demand for me to talk to you. I've called you all back in October of 2024 and tried to talk with you all. I've been through so many different things. And as far as with my email address, as far as my online account, these are things that I want to talk to you about. Because for someone to transfer over to a supervisor and say that you can handle this, well, handle it. Handle that stuff. Make sure I get my information. Your job is not to handle me. And that's why I'm telling you. But a lot of times people disguise these things and see what approval you can get on a recorded call so that you can be intact and make different agreements, arrangements, and facilitate things of my name, likeness, and image behind my back. You're not here to recruit me. You did not recruit my social security number. This was supposed to be standard transaction. This as well as I go into the store and I buy a bottle of orange juice, or I buy some sort of flashlight or some sort of lamp, perhaps a candle, perhaps a lighter, whatever, a pack of matches, a bottle of water, whatever it is. Okay, I choose electric skillet, whatever it is that I choose to purchase. It is never saying that has purchased me. And you all have to realize that. And you may not understand how serious these things are. People are in a situation and they would perhaps put a covering or they want to get in an agreement, like a covenant with the next person, and they have liability. That's just like if they say, hey, I have, this is an agreement. There's a gamble out there. Okay, well, perhaps, you know what? I send you over these accounts, get you some money. This is how you're not going to use me to pay off your debts. If I have a problem with you, that problem stays with you. You did not notify me. I want the letter. I want the letter that you all sent about transferring my stuff to a collection agency. I want the dates. I want how many different collection agencies you sent my stuff to. I don't have to take you to court for that. Because if I have to take you to court for that, there's going to be some other problems, because you did not send me any letters out saying that you were sending my stuff to a collection agency. I have not gotten any of those letters. And so these are millions of dollars of lawsuits, not only to subpoena, to get my information, the crimes that you all will be committing by selling my social security number to someone that I do not know, that is impossible to even have rationale with, without me having to go off into outer space to be able to talk to them to get any information whatsoever from. I had this agreement. I arranged these things with Reed Energies. Whoever paid the state of Wisconsin that has put money out there or whatever, even calling them, state of Wisconsin was on some mess, didn't even want to pay back in 2023 or what 2022 or whatever the situation is, or was that 2020? It was 2022, 2023. But whatever whatever the situation had been, yeah, it was 2023. It was 2023. Whatever the situation was, it was about May of 2023, actually. There was money that was given to you all. Okay? April, I want to have this conversation. I mentioned some things, and so you can talk about them and you can answer my questions and my comments. I had to tell you that because I'm not messing around, and I do not want to continue to have to, because I take it up a level where you constantly hit me, you constantly, trying to take shots at me, you constantly insulting me with the passive aggressiveness and stuff like that. Just be aggressive. All this sneak dissing and stuff like that you might have your attitude and you're not knowing or whatever, or telling me I'm not realizing something. I don't play that. Because I'm bilingual. and I'm telling you right now, I do not have a responsibility to cater to you at all, ever. I'm not on the menu, April. Okay? And so this is what you have to realize. I have to take care of my life. I have to take care of who I am as a person. And when I'm asking you this, I explain properly. And so why reply to what I'm telling you that is proper to something sort of abuse at times throughout a professional conversation? This is not me talking to a so-called neighbor like that. Okay? This is me talking to an enterprise, a business, We Energies, where you all have power plants and other things around here. You all have very skilled laborers and employees and ownership that work hard. And you're not going to give me the very least of conversation and the very least of information and still use my name just as well as you use anybody or to accumulate your growth. I'm not the same. You're not going to combine me like that, but there's information out there and I want it. I want all of it that I can possibly handle. If I have a conversation with We Energies, I want to know all about it. If you all cannot handle that, you need to go somewhere else. So I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. So if you want to say some stuff and I can say that I would appreciate you saying that, because this conversation is going to be continually had until you all one say that I'm harassing you, or till you either say that you're going to just make sure that you are appropriate and you want me to sue you for my information. That's a problem. And that's why you have you sold my information. You got these people your agencies fighting me just in case some shit hits the fan. Just in case something happens to you, or happens where I sue you and then something can happen. But I'm gonna tell you something. All roads leads to Jasmine Renee Davis. And so all in my whole understanding on this recorded call, I do not play about my life. And so before you say anything to me, please have your accurate information and know that, and I can hold the phone. I'm not in a hurry on the phone or any of that. I'm not abusing you. Don't abuse me. Because I don't need to double team you or jump you or fight you or abuse you or harm you or take anything from your life. I don't do that. I have all things to gain and there's no failure. So I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. And so I would ask you that you address these issues, but I'm not going to just be on this phone playing with you. I'm not here to play around, though. I hear you there on the phone, April. Can you please talk and reply to what I say? Or I can hold while you gather everything that I say. That's fine. But you would have to say hello. You are there.
I'm here. So as far as I can send out the S&T report for those accounts for you, I can send out the certification like I stated. I can send it to your email and answer that address you gave me. Is there anything else that you want me to send out for you?
Did you hear anything that I said to you?
I heard everything you said, yes.
So I did
I'll let you know
mention.
what I can do on my end. As far as the LIFT program, I provided you that phone number so you can contact them. But as far as the information that you would like from me, that's what I can send out for you.
So what about, talk to me about the letters where you sent my information to collections. Talk about the language.
I see on the account that they sent you out 2 letters. They sent out a letter in October 22nd of 2024, and then they sent one out also September 24th of 2024. I can send you a copies of those if you would like. They were explaining that with the debt on the account that it would be sent to a collection agency if payment arrangements weren't set up on the account.
Okay, and so you're saying that in October 2024, and when November, you said when, November?
September
and October.
2024, and on October 22nd, 2024.
That you sent it out telling me that you were sending my information to a collection agency.
It did explain that if there wasn't any payment arrangements set up on the account, that it would be sent to a collection agency.
Okay, so again, send those letters out so that I can make sure I have all that. Because I did not get that.
Yep, I'll send those out as well. Yep,
but you just said to me, now you see how you did that, and I just went through all of that. I told you to stop, to not tell me that you cannot do something, and then you just sit there and said you could do nothing else. And I said, well, what about the collections letters? This is the simple thing that is happening time and time again. You just did it again.
Miss Jasmine Renee Davis, I told you what I could send out, and then I asked you if there was anything else you wanted, and then you explained you wanted those, so I'm going to send those out as well. I just told you what I was going to do. I never said I couldn't do those. I just told you what I was doing based off of our conversation that we've already had. And then you asked for those, so I'm going to send those out as well for you.
I asked for those already. I asked for different things already. I already had asked about that. But you said there was nothing that I discussed that you can do further. I mentioned when I was just talking to you that I wanted the letters that you all sent, that you even sent.
I'm going to send these out. Is there anything else that I can send out? I have to end this.
Go and get off of my phone, because you are not doing what you're supposed to do, and you so goddamn smart. I'm sure that you got to go talk to somebody else there, and you need to self-report. I'm not going to play these games. Send my stuff, and I have all this stuff that I asked you, and you just sit there and took the information and don't know what to do with it. You are not qualified to talk to me or anybody on this phone. Hell motherfucking no. This a phone call. That bitch still over there breathing while she trying to take the motherfucking stability from me. I know what I'm talking about. And bitches don't want to be accountable and responsible and don't want to learn a motherfucking thing. Meanwhile, the fucking ambulance is steady circling around this bitch constantly over and over again. Motherfuckers having a stroke don't even know where their loved ones are. Getting involved with shit where they're supposed to be at a specific level and they losing on every motherfucking turn. Because people out here dumb, crushing people's hopes and motherfucking dreams and shit. And a bitch can't even have a normal conversation. I told her exactly what it was. And because she do not have the answers, she rather sit out there and try to make it seem like I'm being irrational. It looks like that because these are the people, just like Kenosha police told me that a business, they believe the corporation before they believe me. They told me that. Just because you are a business, you're going to be believed because you have many power, and people are in these jobs that are scared and not ever supposed to be scared. They're worried more about their outside name instead of handling the strength and the power that comes along with their actual department, their agency, and the things that they stand up for. It shows a great amount of weakness in the United States of America, actually. Because how are you sitting up here representing something where you cannot, you let somebody come up into and bully you and tell you or whatever, and then you allow them into your personal life and fuck with you on a personal life, in your personal life. Just so happen these people come for me and attack me in my personal life before I can ever make a professional life at all. And so as I'm trying to make sure they're not going to transition me into what they find is best for me because of a $6,850.38 bill that should be paid and owed, they pass it along so they don't have to answer the questions. If you are so significant in a situation and you have everything that you're supposed to have and you have everything that you're supposed to do in a situation, and just like I have to make some calls today as well, some very fucking important calls, but they say if you're not a member here, then we don't have to give you any information. So they're quick to hurry up and rush these things off within a matter of weeks or whatever. Okay, because sometimes when you look at the whole situation, you get an audit, you get these different things, you might find that some things are just working just fine, that they're increasing or they're decreasing. There's some accuracies or some inaccuracies. There's some inconsistencies, or everything is relevant, on task, and properly being managed and handled appropriately. So I don't need to worry about anything. These people called me, right? And I was just stretching and yawning. And I still handled that call. I didn't say, oh, you know what? I'm stretching right now. You got to call me the fuck back. And I can't. I am taking my life seriously. I'm not playing any games. I'm not out here couch surfing like motherfuckers try to tell me to do. I'm not looking to die. I don't have a bedtime. I don't have an expiration date. People are trying to constantly learn patterns from me and try to put me in some sort of predicament and some sort of situation that is totally inappropriate. I do not have to deal with that. All I have to do is live my own life. We Energy sent my account to some people that are just fucked up. And I don't have to keep calling them and begging these people to talk to me. I may address them one more time just to let them know. But I don't have to. There is an address out there somewhere. I write these people. I talk to them. Because you know what? They say sometimes it does not matter. Ignorance is no excuse. Because there's other ways I can do it. People have told me that they're refusing to talk to me in writing. That they do not want to talk to me in writing. Everything that I do successful, everything that I do right, they always throw it into a way that they change it and challenge me. It's almost like some trick type of scheme, like those mirrors where you look at yourself and it shows your body looks like it's all kinds of like spiral noodles, and it goes all different kinds of ways, and your head may look like this, your body. These are things that somehow people have figured out, and it's amazing. These are people that are doing these things. And they come and they get together and they call them circuses and carnivals. They teach the proper things. And you know what? Places like Wisconsin won't allow different people to come and introduce something to have a better aspect of learning. But they're out here saying that they care about the kids. This is all about the kids. This is all about people. This is all about growing. This is all about change. This is all about improvement. This is all about all these things. But they know that people are living life at a whole nother level right now. And people need to see something different. You're not getting through to me. But you are forcing me to talk to you. And so I do not have to go to jail or to some kind of sick room or something like that, because you are the one who is inappropriate trying to catch up with me where I'm not to be caught up with. This is not even about the conversation to even keep up with me. This is about understanding, or perhaps it could be like, I don't want to say all these words because I want to say transparency, but is to find the clarity and to be direct in a whole conversation. I'm not out here yelling these people down like that. I am trying so hard. And some things are more emotional. We energies can't throw me in jail. We energies can talk all the stuff that they want to talk. They can do all the things, and they have people out there that probably are complaining. The reason why these police officers and all these people are fighting me, they may own the restaurant that I go to that they're pissed off, and they might have excuse to be like, that's just like, people have to be careful when they're saying that they are homosexuals. I'm going to talk on this here. Because they cannot fight me. They have but one thing they can tell me, they cannot refuse my business and if they have it public. But one thing they can say is, if someone is a homosexual, that they can't refuse their business. That's the one thing that they can say. People can reject you according to your sexual orientation, not knowing what you believe in or whatever. This is why it's important. And this is why it's a violation of rights for people to know your gender, especially as a child. They violate these children. They pervert these children. They're out here sexing them all up and down in these public schools. And yes, they are, without reason or permission, by knowing what gender they are. There are stalls. Yes, okay. It does not matter if you see a penis or a vagina. You still don't get to label me. You do not know what I believe in, and you do not know the evidence that I have, and you do not know what efforts that goes into this, whether I have a mother and a father, a mommy or a daddy, or whatever the situation is. This is on point. And go to someone. If you have to talk to your legislator, if you have to talk to these people, I'm putting this information out because this week I'm fighting for my life. I have until Monday to try to get all kind of shit together that I have been fucking doing for a year. And I have concerns because I have gotten in trouble and I have bothered people and I have did things where constantly calling them over and over. So I said, you know what? I call these people constantly. I do my own thing. I'm not going to keep getting in trouble. And these police walk up on me wherever the fuck I am, wherever I possibly could be. Over and over and over again. But what I'm telling you is, people out here giving information and allowing these people to be casual, ask for their social instead of their social security number. Those people are never supposed to ask for a full social security number at all. They should have that information, and because their systems are not in place, they're robbing the people that they are trying to serve or do business with by being dysfunctional. They have the bare minimum. They abuse their employees. They abuse their students. They abuse the people that they want to represent. How can you like so much of a people where you want to represent them and you turn them into your slaves and you agree to be a service to someone else? But people are out here identifying their social orientation, their sexual backgrounds and orientation. When I was in jail, those people asked me, am I heterosexual, homosexual? What do I identify with? I said, I do not have to tell you anything about me. And I do not have to tell you who I allow in my bed. But they use that as a way to discriminate and to incriminate and fight if they need to, because they have nothing else. And when they want to shut you down and control you or figure you out, to demystify you, to get deep inside of you and to uncover you, because they say you cannot judge a book by its cover. You have to begin to turn those pages. And that's what they want to do. You know, those diaries and those journals with the locks on them, you know, like the suitcases with the locks on them and the boxes, like say deposit box or treasure boxes or whatever people have at their houses or outside or what they carry. People try to break the code, and they will use that and mismanage people and put their name and attach and say, you know, victims. You might try to and always say, where's this person at? People have blocked me. They have been places. Bitches sit up here and watch my every move, smiling in my face for years. Trying to learn my behavior, learn the way I dress, learn everything about me. Ask me different things, not ask me about different things. Try to sit where I sit near me, any motherfucking thing. And then turn around and I say, hi, reach out to them on Facebook. Then the bitch blocked me. Never gave a fuck about me. This bitch is not my enemy. This bitch is trying to do whatever. Oh, that's fine. Because remember, you came up to me. I was not checking for you. I was not looking for you. I never wanted to be anything like you. Everywhere I was looking, you were doing something that had to do with me. And this is why I want to make sure that I can appropriately detach from a situation and find a proper way to be who I am without any difficulty. It's not a peaceful transfer of power, because there does not have to be peace. I do not have to die for someone to step in and replace me, because these shoes of mine cannot be filled by someone else. I'm the only one that can fill and refill and do my thing. So I take care of myself. I try to get and orchestrate my matters appropriately, but I do not have to allow these people to constantly get all this information, do all this stuff, and abuse me or not have anything for me, but they're sitting up here doing whatever. Send my information out to me. Do the things that you're supposed to do. Okay. So the fact that I'm reading this from Donald J. Trump, apparently, I don't know, it's coming from X. So the fact that the Defense Department is getting a gift free of charge of a 747 aircraft to replace a 40-year-old Air Force One temporarily in a very public and transparent transaction so bothers the crooked Democrats that they insist we pay top dollar for the plane. Anybody can do that. The Dems are world-class losers. So, to be appropriate in a situation and always try to put sentimental value on everything, and to not put any sentimental value on anything is an extreme situation. To be able to move forward and keep up with the times, and to be consistent in the beliefs of who I am or what the process is or what the product is, and still be modern is appropriate. Temporary gains is not a forever loss. These are what people have to realize. People are trying to keep others poor, complacent, and use things for their own benefit. If you have to figure these things out, if you have to do whatever it is that you are doing, you say that. You do not go out and demand the demise of the next group of people because you do not want to instruct that you are not intelligent enough to handle something properly. You get the information. Stop allowing people to run for your parties, for your groups that are not properly qualified. If you're not bringing the asset to the table that you know how to Who can file, look, who has the right of law to learn the law, to file extensions and to understand the process, to legitimately do things? Everything is in a hurry. What are you all in a hurry for? You rush everything through. You do all this stuff inappropriately. And then you tell people, get food stamps in the meantime. And then get abused socially. It's okay that you say it's okay for a civil death, but you're still living. But the fact of the matter is, these people are trying to make people absent in a situation constantly, over and over again. You want people to believe that it is okay to reach out to someone else to get your bills paid, your lights paid, all this shit, and not do anything out here. And then you say, oh, you know what? Donald Trump, never. Donald Trump's children will never know what it's like to they said something like about like they throw this abuse and question people about what they do for their children. You know, like it was said, like Barack Obama said, Donald Trump don't know what it's like. He probably never changed his own tire before. And people are like, oh, yeah. But you go to Jiffy Lube and all these places to get your fucking tire changed. You don't know how to change your own tire. But you sitting up here and you don't understand, and you're not asking, well, what do you mean by that? Because it could have been well said that actually, but in fact, that Donald Trump is at a level in his life where he's doing other things that perhaps he should be able to know how to change his own tire, but it's so much other stuff that he has to handle and constantly fight these battles and stuff, and he should be able to do things normally that you can motherfucking do, and you choose not to. When are you gonna get up off of your behind, off of your tail end, and do the things and learn how to do some stuff for yourself, so people don't have to keep on throwing all these car washes up here, throwing all of these laundromats? And laundromats are important. Car washes are important. They got all these places at every turn, because you all are not, this place is crippled. Because you are constantly trying to have somebody else do the most simplest things for you constantly in the world that you can do for yourself. I want to see something that is going to show me life. I want to live my life, and you are allowing these people to sit up here, and you're really consistent, and people need to change. You're not gonna have this subtle assassination trip or theory or guilt about what you're trying to find to me, that you put over in some kind of envelope that is addressed to somebody else, but it's really mine, constantly over and over again. You all sit up here and you have this standard over and over and over again that serves no proper reason, no proper position or place. But you let these people come, fast food restaurants everywhere, barely enough home economics. And what kind of food do you have in these classrooms? You don't apply that to the school supplies. When someone goes there for their tuition, where they have it or whatever, you're not even giving enough money back, you know. And then you have a problem with somebody talking about that they're going to get rid of the Department of Education. You all are not, you're just doing this. You're hiring the people that you know that know nothing, just so that you do not have to take care of them. And so you're making other people take care of them, because you would never want them to have to be on food stamps, because it's not enough. They cannot pay their bills with food stamps. They cannot pay their bills, but they can get a job at the Department of Education, right? Of public instruction, and stress the shit out of somebody when I call them and they don't not know anything, but they're sitting up here making $50,000 a year, and I barely get $200 fucking dollars of food stamps a month, and I'm doing way more fucking work than they even want to do. They're not doing the work. They're not handling their stuff. But then you got people out here running for office and don't even know what it is to be an alderman. You got people out here sneak dissing constantly, having vendettas. They're jealous. They've been watching from the outside looking in. They compare themselves, not because of my age, but compare themselves with where I am supposed to be, because I have always been that girl that has been born into leadership and ownership and popularity. And this is a problem that I have had for myself. It does not matter how many teeth that I have missing. It does not matter anything about anything. I do not let anything stop me from knowing who I am. I achieve my own things. They do not have to be goals all the time. They do not have to be anything. But for these people to constantly put up a fight and say all these things, they don't supply the accurate information. They don't come from wherever they're coming from. They all have this same little thing where they sit there and raise people's emotions up. They get them all hyped up. And they say, yeah. So do you want to vote? Sure. What do you want to vote for? What? Yes, say, repeat after me. Okay, how is somebody going to repeat after you? You're supposed to be repeating after me, first of all. You're supposed to be representing me. You're supposed to ask me what exactly I want. You're not coming to get the most accurate situation at all whatsoever. If things are being replaced or whatever, and someone has the opportunity to use these things, you don't know what they're doing. You don't know if these people are testing it out to see. You don't know where any of these things are going. All I ask is that you people tell me what it is that you're doing. Not to abuse me for it. Not to come up with things, because there's many things that you can do. But you choose to take away from me the one person that's living. And I do not appreciate that. Constantly. That's just like these people, these city workers. They have Gatorades and they have all these things out here to literally refuse to tell your body to urinate. And all throughout the time where they're working, they're constantly working. When do they get to use the bathroom? When do they get to urinate? But they sell Gatorade. They sell the things that are, and that's on them. I'm not worried. But what I'm saying is, these people know what it is to constantly treat someone like a machine, but they are not the ones who even know how to build it constantly. There's a problem all the time. There's always a dysfunction. There's always something that actually needs to improve. They're always talking about, well, how do you get your money? Okay. If someone is doing mess up things and only making sure, then talk to them about making you learn how to make sure that other people can get money. What you can do is, if you're approving food stamps for people, make sure that every one person, if somebody is getting $199 worth of food stamps, make sure that they are getting $400 worth of food stamps. Make it make sense. These programs, the things that you want somebody to do, literally work on a program 30 hours a week for $200, not even $200 worth of food stamps. These are what these people that are in legislators and all these people are doing to get false enslavement. While you all are steady working, you're not doing the things that you're supposed to do. You're not taking care of your business. You're not appropriate in your mannerisms or anything. You do not even know that you can write grants. Write it to the people that, the money is there. People have legacy money. People have inheritance. And you all sit there and fight people so they can't get it. You sew people money up so tight. Loosen that money up and figure out how to get it. And when that money is taken from someone at a local level and it goes to the state, use that money and put it back in the system for someone can identify some sort of resources, because they should be able to live. People are being accused of being mentally ill over and over again just for having some sort of wealth in their own, just a personality. And you all are not creative to even figure out what to do, but you're steady letting people take up space.
And you want people to constantly recycle the same buildings over and over for new projects. No, I'm not renting from no motherfucking body and their ideas. I'm not having nobody come up here and tell me this and that and the other. Create other things. There is space that people can build and make a foundation and steady believe in change and opportunity and principle and all these things. What do you call stewardship anyway? You have literally, okay, gas stations are important. They're one across the street from another. Okay, but then people talk about, oh, it's called capitalism. Well, why aren't you teaching capitalism in school? These public schools, you know that people are coming here and they're using capitalism. So why don't you put out some campaigns about capitalism? When are you all going to sit up there? I literally, one time, I had a car, it's a Chevrolet Equinox LTZ. And I had signed up in Kenosha, Wisconsin for Readers Are Leaders. I believe it's through the United Way, the city of Kenosha, state of Wisconsin. And my car was making this siren sound. But I got there. I made sure I showed up at Gateway Technical College. And I got a book for the classroom that I was supposed to read to. I went to James Vernon Elementary School and I went to a classroom there. I believe that it perhaps was 3rd or 4th grade. It probably was 4th grade. I do not know exactly. It was probably 4th or 5th grade. And seriously, and the problem was the book that I had was supposed to be, please hear this, for that age group and that level of those students. In like 4th grade, I just say on the average of 4th grade at James Vernon Elementary in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And I read that book. I tried to. And those students were so happy to hear me read. And do you know, that teacher rushed me, or saying I was taking too long to read that book. That the book was just too, it was like, it was dreading her. Like how some people say when you write, it's like nails on a chalkboard. It was like I was irritating her. It was like the whole time she was like not appreciating me reading the book. This was a book that was chosen through a group of people that decided that this is the level. I was not stuttering over my words. I'm an excellent reader. I know how to read. I like to read. I can read out loud. And this is a book that I was just reading. It was, I don't even know how many pages it was. Maybe 50 pages, maybe 25 or 30. But it was a thin book. And she could not handle it. It was too much. And I believe that I didn't even get to finish the book, or it was to the point where she was rushing me like, how much more of that book do you have? And when people are trying to put curriculum out here to advance, but these teachers and these people are so jealous, are so lazy, are so inconsistent, are so inconsiderate, where they rob these children that they sit up in front of every day, smile, and they want them to respect them. They want them to give them some sort of attention and hear what they say and whatever they're teaching. But when somebody come in and is happy to read a book and not get paid for it, and when somebody is trying to teach you a lesson and you tell them that it's too much, and that you show them that you are cheating them and robbing them out of an accurate education constantly, immediately, forcefully, and draftfully, you are keeping these children at a place of honoring. And I don't honor nobody, and I don't have to honor you. But what I'm telling you is, you have an insecurity. And you do not want those children to thrive, because what you have is only a 4th grade education. And you don't even have that, because you are not looking to advance. What you're doing is looking to teach bare minimum. You get to get the curriculum. You get to go and shop and bring everything to make your 4th graders the best fucking 4th graders in the whole wide world. You got a whole classroom that you can make your 4th graders the best motherfucking 4th graders that have ever been. And you know what? Pretty much that any 4th grader that come to your motherfucking class will be the best 4th grader ever. That will go on and be able to not have to fucking give a fuck about, and not have to care about leading anybody else, but to be able to lead themselves. You have one school year to be able to give something to someone else that you are being paid to do every year throughout your tenure or whatever your employment situation. I don't give a damn if it's your substitution. You being a substitute. You do not sit up here and rush somebody through something because you cannot articulate the fact that this black woman or anybody else have came into your classroom, that you have opened the door. This was a place that I was asked and sent to. And I made sure that I did not quit. I could have easily, I pushed my motherfucking car to the limit to get there. And I did not say, oh, I'm so tired. I was so happy to read. I even said, here's my business card. I'd be happy to come here and read to your students. And if you want to sit there and grade papers, I would be happy to read to your students. I have been trying. But I'm not wanted by you people, because you are steady addressing the fact that you are comfortable. You're living to die. I'm living to live. That's all I'm doing is living. And you're not going to keep not telling people what it is that you're trying to do. You're not going to make it hard to the fact you're practicing deprivation, exhaustion, abuse, all kind of patterns of murder and killing and robbery and bribery and all kinds of illiteracy that you would like to ingrain constantly. It's like when someone goes to you, they're worse. And that's what you're happy about. And you push them to the next place so that the people can constantly impress upon them their insecurities. And so you are the ones that are constantly being built. These teachers, and it's said, the teachers are the ones who are really getting the education around here. But there are some teachers that should actually teach. And for me, I roam the halls. And for me, I try to make my way. I'm literally around here no better than these birds and squirrels out here. These stray dogs and these stray cats and these raccoons and all these things. I am Jasmine Renee Davis. And I'm not going to take that away from myself. But I can tell you, in some ways, I'm searching around to try to find my food. To try to find something to eat. It's many things that these animals can eat, but they are specific on what they're eating. Acorns or different things, whether they're choosing some kind of protein, whatever it is. Rabbits coming around, eating different leaves or whatever. Caterpillars that turn into fucking butterflies. Why? To give someone the opportunity is not good enough. For me to be able to have my own opportunity and experience my things the way that I'm supposed to experience my thing is most appropriate. Why would you want to wipe the smile off of my face? And people say, it takes more energy to frown than it does to smile. But let that kind of sink in for a moment. It takes more energy to frown than to smile. And so what if somebody knows that and they get to upcycle that energy from me to force me to smile, and they draw that effect, and they keep doing it to the point where they're saying, I'm weakening this person. It's not the fact that, and I seen this, and it's so true, and I already knew this, but I'm starting to find that others are saying some really important stuff, actually. But I literally find it on my phone. I see it on my phone or whatever. And then this evaluator asked me, do I believe, it's been asked like, one time, in a mental hospital, like, they tried to say, like, that I have this mental illness if I believe that I knew famous people. You never asked me if I ever met anybody famous. So that tells me that you put these crimes and these misdiagnoses off on people who don't make it out of their neighborhood, that don't get the chance to be professional athletes or professional people that go on to be presidents of the United States of America, or school teachers, or any kind of leadership where they're just a patient in the special education department or whatever. But some people say your body is not tired. It's you need to strengthen your mind. And so these people will abuse your mind and to tell you that your body is tired. Where your body is not in pain, your body is crying out because it wants to move. In your mind, there's something that's being said to you. There's something that is being done to you to say that you're not good enough. If I'm sitting down for so long, I need to get the fuck up. I would need to stand up and stretch my legs because I start feeling some type of way and my body is out there. And if I'm doing it for so long, if my body is used to me being an athlete, being active, having sexual intercourse, doing things, running, jumping, playing, standing for long periods of time, it's going to be like, oh, what the fuck you mean? My body is going to cry out to me just as well as me wanting some milk. I have to feed into the system that is my own body. I am not in pain. I am alive. But if I am being put on drugs that is forcing me to be down, they have these downers, they have these uppers. And this is why they have a problem at times in a comprehension of one another to actually know what others are going through. And it's important. They say, don't tell your business. Don't tell your business. But what I'm saying is, understand who you are and where you're coming from. And when you're trying to represent something and you're in a position and you're putting stuff out there, recognize. I want to live. And so I'm going to make sure I know what my body is going through. If I don't give a fuck, I do not actually care about anything. If I have to continue to do the things that I have to do for myself, and I have to shake some shit off, and I have to walk a specific way. Yesterday, I promise, I knew I had some wind up in me. I had to poop, and it was up, that poop was just up in there. It was so much where it was just taking its turns coming out. And I said, okay, oh, here's a little bit more. Oh my goodness, here's some more. And it started to, I don't have that feeling anymore. But what if I would have it showed in the way that I was walking. It showed in the way that I was walking, and it showed in the way that I was just like, shit, literally. What if I would have went to the emergency room and let somebody tell me about my body and they did not know, but I let them just to say whatever it is that they do. If you go to someone that practices surgery and all they know is surgery and you go to them, they might give you some motherfucking surgery. And while they're at it, you better understand that if you're going to constantly put these risks out here and you're going to have that risky behavior by you allowing somebody to, turn the lights on and off in your life, you don't know what the fuck they got going on. You don't know what they're doing. But I'm not putting my life in anyone's hands. I'm not allowing people to do whatever it is because they're not explaining it right. And for someone you have to understand that. Whatever it is that I want from myself, I can get to it. I want the proper education, the proper legitimacy, the proper literacy, whatever it is. At least, can I please feel myself? I was sitting here, I don't know what romance is, but all I can say is, I'm sitting here having a real serious, deep relationship with myself. And I said, oh my goodness, I'm eventually like myself and really care about myself so much. I'm going to be so beautiful. It ain't going to be nothing nobody's going to ever be able. I was just saying this during the night to myself. There's not going to be anything that anybody's going to tell me to stop me. I'm going to be so pretty, so motherfucking pretty. As if I'm not pretty right now. I am going to continue to live my life the way that I have and just romanticize me. I'm not a person who subscribes to love, and I'm not going to say that, but it don't matter. I don't have to fall in love. I do not have to fall. I'm telling you, if I want to walk on cloud 9, I can walk on motherfucking cloud 9, and that's my business. That's my own right. That's what I am. I'm not about to let somebody fuck up my head and to the point where I've been there. I was watching videos and I've seen where I just had so much of these people. And I'm sitting up there trying to explain to people, calling them brother, calling them sister, just to let them know I understand where you're coming from. It's not that. I'm not playing no house with no motherfucking body. If you want to do that, how about let's build some shit? I don't need all of these fake ass psychological abuses. People promising me something to have me to work and depend on the demise of somebody else. Why? For what? What sense would that actually make? What sense is it to you? What sense is it to me? I make it make sense. I have all that I have to have, and I continue to grow. The body heals itself. God damn it. Please. The body heals itself. Most definitely, in any event, I want to continue to learn. I want this education so I can talk to the people I have to talk to. But the problem is, when I get to knowing these things, ain't no stopping me. I keep on talking, and they have to hear me, and they don't like that. I'm not asking you to pay me. I don't want to be on your payroll. And I don't want to be on your payroll. I do not want to be your slave. I do not want to be your employee. I do not want you getting money off of me. I don't want you using my name. It's inappropriate. Tell me what the fuck it is that you want from me, and tell me what it is that you are asking of me and what you would like or whatever it is, and I can see what I can do. I'm not out here playing around. It's like, because you don't have enough information and education in your camp. You don't have the skills and the training and licensing in your stuff. You choose to get out here and apply for a job before you're ready. You choose to join a group that you could have very well been on the other side of things, or your own way. And now you mad and you don't want to be a part of it. You can easily get a part of it, but you're so busy wanting to divide and conquer that you don't even realize that you have the situation as far as these people constantly in life. This is still your job. This is still who you are. You can still live your life. And that's why when I was out there at that Kenosha Welcome Center, and they called it all kinds of names, they're going to use the same motherfucking report probably for I don't know how many things. I don't give a shit, and I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm not fucking with you. But I let them know it's not about, where's the law? You're talking about all this. Wait a minute. And then it was like so many arrows flying at me. It was not Cupid. Okay? It was not motherfucking Cupid. It was not the stork. It was not any of them dropping no. They were dropping bombs. They were not dropping babies, and it was not Cupid. I don't give a fuck. Cupid walking around here wearing a diaper. He's so goddamn busy, and he's doing the things, and maybe he likes that. It's so cute, huh? But you all gonna sit out here and tell me what I can or cannot do, or what is best for me, or what is best for a situation that I'm involved in. But those people were steady saying more and more stuff that, wait a minute, this is not enough. This is more than what you're saying. But they go to school for this. They have assumed that I have no education. They have assumed that I have no training, that everything that I have is just so unessential and secular that it's impossible to use or to market, that no one of any good nature will ever be able to allow me to even talk to them about their brand, talk to them about their product, or them talking to me about making any sort of money. When people ask me, am I being realistic to know if I will ever be a millionaire? That is a problem where these people are trying to have a death sentence on my life and try to tell me that I'm nothing. This is why I tell these people like this. Where is it coming from? What is it standing on? And I have to literally, like, I'm trying to see something over the crowd. And then you talk about equity, equality, where you sit up here and you know good and well that everyone is standing on their own 2 feet. And then you say, well, you know, because you're 5'9" and this person is this height or whatever, we're going to make this person, you know, a different height or whatever. If you can choose or whatever, because you have, no, everyone, if you want everyone to see over the fence, if you want everyone to see whatever the situation is, everyone should. Now, how they look at it when they're all looking over the fence, that's a different situation. But you're not going to constantly have me, in a situation, I don't have to show up, but then you force me to be there, and then I can't even get what I need. That's like them. The jails are so full. They're putting people in different things and giving them serious jail time. And then they're not able to buy their radio. They're taking all communication from them from the outside world. No physical visits. Knowing that they only have video visits there at Kenosha County Jail, right? But check this out. Their kiosks don't work. So they can't call on the public kiosk for visits. They're not even allowing visits. They're literally violating everything. Their phone in the intake, in the holding cell, when they first get in there, doesn't work. They're not giving out tablets. And if they put people in those blocks, in those cells, then they have all these different rules. They don't know where people are coming from. They're being dishonest. Somehow, oh, you can't cohabitate with others and all these different things. They're literally taking everything away from someone, and they don't care, because who are you going to tell? You got nobody to call. You can't do nothing with your money. A lot of these people don't have money. They sit there and they target and they research, and then they do it again. They source, they upcycle, and they resource over and over again. I'd rather take care of myself to a specific and a particular level where I build the wealth inside of me, so I can understand, so I can know to look both ways before I cross the street, so I can know appropriate how to do the things that I have to do for myself. When someone is talking about, okay, you should know how to change your own oil. Well, sometimes those cars get so heavy where they fall down on top of people. So it is better for me to take my car to a place where they can stand up, and my car is up here or whatever, just to prevent, because that's where I am. And so I can get the proper tools and manage my stuff accordingly. But not all the time. I want to know how to do these things for myself. I should know how to do those things, but I'm not there yet. I can build whatever it is, I can get there. But until I get there, then I would like to know that I can go to somewhere. Those people at Jiffy Lube put some kind of sugar or something in my gas tank. Yes, they did. And they fought me, and then they tried to trap me into their building in Kenosha, Wisconsin, on Brumback Boulevard, over there near Walmart and all that. I believe that they have these holes of incrimination and false imprisonment over there. And it's areas like that. And these stores come here and they take over people and they steal people's lives. They're body snatchers. And so I have to have the capability to be able to focus. People are saying whatever they want to say about me, but I still have to be myself. I still have to believe in it. I have to hear it. I'm getting better at it. And I call somebody a bitch. I say, you motherfucker. I was calling people hoes all up and down. They didn't know what I was talking about. They were all kind of hoes for different reasons. They were tools. They were bitches. They were taking assignments and talking to these motherfuckers and all that. They were on the outside looking in like a motherfucker, and they were just not a part of me. I was on some serious shit. And I watch these videos and I do these things and I comprehend accordingly to what it is in me. And I say, you know, that might have sounded pretty harsh, but when I said it, I know exactly what the fuck I was saying and I cannot take it back. But all I can do is let you know that this is a different thing, but I do not take back anything that I said because I was a lot of shit to a lot of people. People are telling me to stay in situations and tough it out while I am being abused. But do you ever look and see if I will make it through these situations? Police, they're coming into my house without my permission, making reports. Calling me a hoarder, knowing motherfucking well, why are you worried about what's in my house? How about all those false crimes that you are doing, hoarding people's lives that you are false reporting about? Hoarder what? What the fuck is a hoarder? You all are taking these words and saying whatever it is and you're putting them on people. And you are not supposed to know what happens inside of here, but you never mentioned that the heat did not work. You never mentioned how cold it was. You never said, you know what? I'm a police officer and I'm here to look at every side of this. So you can just keep me out of your shit, out of your assignments, out of your mess, and you can go do something real with your job because that's what you signed up for. You are choosing to do whatever you want to do and you're not really coming here, but you steady trying to tackle me and try to say that I'm a criminal and I'm something. Look, I have my own life and I want to continue to be who I am. You all have all these messed up forms out here and these people are wearing me down and all these different things. They have a script. And no matter how I talk to them, no matter what words come out of my mouth, it's still never going to be who they are. I don't know them. But all I can do is describe the instance of what I'm in to take care of myself and understand who I am and what I'm at. I want to properly talk. When I talk about things, about knowing just the language, the foundation, the patterns, the currency, the math, the science. It can mean anything. Somebody can say, wait a minute. Well, that's not what I based it off of, but this is what I based it off. Oh, what is that? Okay, I see what you're saying. So that is your part of it. Can you tell me, can you describe it from your point of view? Now I understand. Okay, so this is not so much of algebra. This is more like trigonometry. Oh, okay, so that's where you are. It doesn't matter if I have any previous experience in trigonometry, but my money has paid. And so I need to understand where it is. You don't tell me if I learn algebra first or trigonometry first. You don't tell me if I learn how to bake a cake first or plant seeds first. That is not for you to tell me. In the system, when you decide how you want to live your life, that's because of your pattern. This is some sort of formula that you have come up with for people that you want to look like you. A lot of times people they have a standard, and this is what the one person ate, did everything that they did the same because they want to be they want to have the same body, they want to look the same. Nobody can tell them a difference. And so they're doing everything because they want to be like them. But I want to be Jasmine Renee Davis. I look up to people in my life in such a tremendous way. There's people that I probably could never ever see, but I want them just to continue to live. Not so that I can see them, but so that they continue to see. But I see people that probably could do no wrong, that could probably do nothing that will be harmful ever. No matter what people say, no matter even how they have seen me. It's me sitting here knowing that I believe in myself enough. I trust what I see to know that if I say that it needs something more, I know for a fact, I know the truth about what it is. Absolutely in all areas, in all walks and shapes and meanings of life. In living, that this does have to have the change and the correction to be adequate in my sight, because I believe that I have enough structure and who I am and what I'm doing is appropriate. I cannot convince you of that of me. All I can do is live my life, and I'm not going to keep making permanent and temporary situations. I'm going to continue to just be who I am. And that's all I can do. That's all that matters to me. I have to live my life. It's 10:51. I have not even urinated yet. And I need to get up from here and I have to urinate, and I may be able to walk somewhere like to the Dr. Martin Luther King Center today, between 12 in Racine, Wisconsin, between 12 o'clock p.m. and 3 o'clock p.m. because I have to figure some things out. But I'm not guaranteeing that right now. I probably know about 12 o'clock. I probably know about 12 o'clock. But right now I have some calls and stuff I have to make. I have some things that I want to do and take care of and handle. But right now I'm about to do. Oh, goodness. I'm going to listen to some music for a while before I make some calls. And I want to just stretch and probably bounce my basketball some. I don't know what exactly. I don't know what I'm about to do. And I don't always want to do everything that I do, depending on somebody else in their situation too, though. And so it just matters. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you, when I can hold it, but when I feel that, I take care of myself. Some people get together and they want to have a good time and they make a baby or whatever, and they know good and well they'll have such a good time watching the growth of that baby grow up of a person. People are happy to see other people grow and see what they can become and use their own things for their own ways in life. But there are people who literally don't get a clue. They don't try to change. They don't try to do the things that they want to do to make it in life, where they constantly stunt the growth of others. It is so inappropriate. And I don't care how appropriate it is for you, but this is the thing. I'm careful not to miss my own message. I'm careful not to sit here and be a messenger for things that are false and that hold no integrity or no makings or no markings for me and my own things that I have for me. If there ever is a legacy, like I said, I sit here and I say, you know what? I made me a cape and then I turn it into maybe like a train on my skirt. And if it ever can be anything else or whatever I choose to make it up, I have to make that situation whatever it is. But one thing I can say is that it's true and it is always valid and guaranteed. It's me living my own life. This is the color of my urine right now, and I've held it. And also, I can configure it's important to see what I eat, and that's important. But if I'm not going to say, this is that and other. Anything can come. Blood is a sign of life. All these things are signs of life. All these things are important to me. But I'm here. I'm going to come on some other time with a live video. I have to take a picture of my urine. I have to do some other things. But I'm so happy. It rained. Rain is so beautiful. Like, I get to hear nature. People say all kinds of things about me. I'm just living my life, okay? I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. So I can just say this too, though.
So I'm here. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis.